When we're talking the 2026 NFL draft running back class, everyone instantly wants to go to Jeremiyah Love as soon as we mention Notre Dame. And there's good reason for it. He's by far the best back in the class, but there's another guy on this team that might be one of the best backs in the class as well. He's not going to be on Jeremiyah Love's level, but he is very firmly in the running for the running back 2 in the class, and that's Jadarian Price, running back, as I mentioned, out of Notre Dame. 5'11", 215 pounds. So we have a prototypical back here that has a lot of tread left on the tires because he had to share time with the aforementioned Jeremiyah Love. Because of that, you're only looking at 100 to 130 carries a season that he's had to have. And that means that there's a lot of tread left. Over 6 yards per carry, both of the past 2 seasons show that he is a very legitimate option when given the opportunity. Now, what I didn't get to see was, what does he look like when he gets a full complement of his workload? What does he get when he gets an opportunity to do a lot in the passing game? Because every year we saw sub 8 receptions on the season. So he didn't get a lot of opportunities in the pass game. So don't really know what he can contribute there, but he didn't look deficient when he did have his opportunities to catch passes. All in all, though, this is a very, very sound, very well-rounded running back. There's nothing in there outside of his lack of receiving production that you point to and say, this is a huge weakness. This is a huge hole. This is a huge area of concern. He's a very well-balanced, well-rounded running back. Even gave you some in the return game, which is going to be nice for NFL teams because they're looking for guys that can contribute in multiple ways. And that's what you're going to be getting out of this running back in Jadarian Price. So I think we have a guy here that is going to be able to contribute in a lot of different ways for a team. And for a team that's looking to add a back on day 2, there's only going to be so many options. So he's going to have his name called decently early, I believe, end of round 2 to round 3, because of that lack of depth in the class. Jeremiyah Love will go round 1. Probably then we're looking at Coleman. We're looking at Jadarian Price, and there'll be maybe 1 or 2 other names that could slip in there on day 2, depending on how things go. Mike Washington, Katron Allen, Nick Singleton, Emmett Johnson. There's other names in here that people like, but for my money, those 2 guys that we just mentioned, along with Mike Washington, are really the only guys that deserve it outside of the round 1 for Jeremiyah Love. Now, when we're looking at Jadarian Price, as far as comps go, I had a hard time getting an exact comp I loved, but I think if you put these 2 players together, both from a high-end output to low-end output, but also meshing their skill sets together, I think you get a decent picture of what we're getting here with Jadarian Price, and that's Mark Ingram and Cam Akers. With Cam Akers, you get a little bit more of the speed, which I do think there's a little more of a speed element to Jadarian Price's game than there was with Mark Ingram. But similar to Mark Ingram, there's no real big holes. He does everything really well, really good vision, good feet to find the hole, good patience. This is a player that I think is going to be a very, very solid addition to an NFL team and to your fantasy football team. When it comes down to it, Jadarian Price, just one of the better backs in the class. He's going to be a solid, safe, steady asset that has a decently high ceiling without giving you that super low floor. And I think a lot of NFL teams are really going to like that.